I veganized this short ribs recipe. I wanted to have that comfort food of a short rib, so I decided to veganize it. It was pretty simple, not too hard. This is made from vital wheat gluten, king oyster mushrooms, young green jackfruit, and also a seasoned bean mixture. So if you want to see this recipe, you want to get into it, don't forget to like, share, and follow this channel if you want more recipes like this one. This I started with shredding king oyster mushrooms. I used about a cup of a combined king oyster mushroom and also a young green jackfruit, and then I used a cup and a half of vital wheat gluten, a cup and a half of seasoned bean mixture. This was from black eyed peas. And then I just took those things together, the seasoned vegetables, the seasoned bean mixture, and the vital wheat gluten, put that all together, and I just kind of kneaded it together. Okay. I did add in a little extra soy sauce, and I shaped it into a log. I took that log and I put it on parchment paper, shaped it so that it was nice and narrow because your vital wheat gluten will expand once you start to cook it. I refrigerated it for 2 or 3 hours so that when I was ready to start working with it to form my short ribs, it would be nice and firm. So now I pulled it out of the refrigerator. You see how nice and firm it is. It's ready to work with. So I took a knife and I sliced it lengthways down the middle because, as I said, this vital wheat gluten will swell. So you want the pieces to be smaller than what you want your actual finished product to be. So I sliced that down the middle. You can see all the texture there of the jackfruit, of the king oyster mushroom. And then I cut it crosswise and made small short ribs. So I cut them and then formed each one with my hand until they were all into what I would consider to be a vegan short rib. Okay, form them all together, and then once I had them all formed, I took them and I seared them off, browned them onto my griddle because I wanted that caramelization on the vegan short rib. So I took each one and I browned them on each side. Once I was finished with browning them, I then put them into a braise. So out of the braise, I made a carrot, garlic, and onion mixture. Then I also used dry red wine, and also some vegan beef flavoring, and about 2 to 3 cups of water. Then I put my short ribs inside of that braise, and I cooked it for 2 hours on 300 degrees. And once it was about an hour in, I checked the texture, make sure all the short ribs were separated, nothing was connecting, and it all was great. So I then put it in, let it sit for another hour. This is going to be a total of 2 hours, but I checked it an hour in. I let it sit for another hour until most of the liquid had been reduced. And then I removed all my short ribs out of the sauce, and then I added in some more wine and a little browning seasoning because I wanted this gravy to be nice and dark. So from this point, you could put this into a blender yourself and smooth out the sauce, but I was a little lazy, so I used a immersion blender and I blended it all up right inside of the pot. So I just kept going until it was nice and smooth the way that I wanted. When it got to the consistency that I wanted, I added in about another half a cup of water. And then when my gravy felt nice and silky and smooth, then I started adding in my short ribs back into the gravy. And I wanted the short ribs and the gravy just kind of to meld together. And so I just left it in there for about another 10 minutes on the same 300 degrees back inside of the oven. And it came out really nice and yummy. I paired this with grits because it's a good thing to pair like maybe with mashed potatoes, grits. You could even put pasta if you want, but I chose to do grits. It was delicious, and we ate that for a few days. So it does take a little bit of time to do it, but it is something that you could have for a couple days, and it's also great for a holiday meal. Save a little bit of the vegetables so that you can put them back in. Don't blend them all up. Save a little bit of onion, carrot, so you can put them back in with the mixture when it's finally done. But yeah, if you have the time to do this, this is a great meal, and it's gonna last you a few days. And you could take this short rib meat, you could put it with, even in tacos, after you've used it. You can do it a variety of ways, you know, and use it a lot. If you want to double the batch, you can do that. You can take that log and you can freeze it, and then you take it out when you want it. So if you don't want to go through all the mixture all the time, you could freeze a few logs and pull them out for when you're ready to cook it, and it makes it easier on you, and you can have the short ribs anytime you want. So you could also put this on 200 degrees for a little longer, like 4 or 5 hours, and slow cook it. So if you had to go out and you just wanted to put it in the oven on 200, you could do that as well, and that would be great. So there are the short ribs, and they have a beautiful texture, and they tasted amazing, and I hope you try it. Don't forget to like and share this channel.